Acting out, this means literally acting out the desires that are forbidding by the superego and yet desired by the id. Number 2, I am vision. Sometimes we have desires and goals that we believe or realize that we are unable to achieve. Number 3, altruism. Avoid or owned by things by concentrating on the pains of others for attack. The best form of defense is attack is a common saying and is also a common action, and when we feel 3, then or attack, we will attack back. Number 5, avoidance. In avoidance, we recently find ways of avoiding having to face uncomfortable situations, things, or activities. Number 6, compartmentalization. It is a divide and conquer process for separating truths that will conflict with one another. Number 7, confession, where our person has a weakness in one area. They may compensate by accentuating or building up strength on another area. Conversation tensions manifest symptoms. Number 9, denial. Denial is simply refusing to acknowledge that an event has occurred. Number 10, displacement. It refers to shifting of action from a desired target to substitute target when are some reason why the first target is not permitted or not available. Number 11, dissociation. Dissociation involves separating a set of truth or activities from the main area of conscious mind. In order to avoid the conflict this will cause. Emotionality. When we become stressed, tension is caused and a number negative emotions by start to build, including anger, frustration, fear, jealousy, and so on. Fantasy or daydreaming. When we cannot achieve or do something that we want, we channel the energy created by the desire into fantastic imagining, fight or flight reaction. When we perceive a significant threat to us, then are to body either into the fight to death or desperate flight from certain defeat by a clearly super adversary. Number 15, hate rejecting complainant. A person becomes upset or otherwise elicit supporting actions from other people when helpful suggestion or other comfort is offered. However, in she reject to return to her compliant. Idealization. It is a overestimation of the desirable qualities and under estimation of the limitation or decide things. Identification. It occurs when change apparent facet of his and her personality such that he and she appears to be more like other people. Intellectualization. This refers to a flight to a reason where the person avoids uncomfortable emotions by on facts, on logic. Introjection. Introjection occurs a coping mechanism when we take on attributes into other people who seem better able to cope the situation than with to. Passive aggression. A person who use passive aggressive method to cope with stresses, thus by attacking others through passive means. Post-traumatic growth. An individual who has suffered a traumatic experience somehow find way to turn into something good. Projection. When a person in a comfortable truths or feelings, he and she mind project this onto other people, assigning the truth or feelings that he and she to lead refers to a convincent alternative target. Projection may also happen to obliterate attributes of other people with with which we uncomfortable, provocation or free floating. When a person feels stress, he is in her way to avoid dealing with the real issues is to provoke others to some kind of reaction. Reaction formation. Reaction formation occurs when a person feels an are to do or say something and then actually does says something that effectively the opposite the what he she really wants. Rationalization. When something happens that we find difficult to accept, then we will make up a logical reason why it has happened. Regulation. Regulation involves take the position of a child some problematic situation. Repression. Repression involves placing unforgettable truths and relatively and accessible areas of the subconscious mind. Self-harming. The person physically, deliberately hurts himself and herself in some way or other ways puts themselves at high rates of harm. Somatization. Somatization occurs where the psychological problem turns into physical and subconscious symptoms. Sublimation is the formation of wanted impulse into something less harmful. Suppression. This is where the person consciously and deliberately passes down my throat the leads of feeling anxiety. substitution. This takes something that leads to discomfortable and replace that it with something that does not lead to discomfort. Symbolization. Symbolization is a way of handling inner conflicts by turning them into distinct symbol. Number 34. Trivializing when we are faced with a disappointment over something that important to us. We are faced with the problem having our expectations and predictions dashed.